Imagine a world teetering on the brink of Renaissance and Reformation, a time of Shakespeare's sonnets, daring voyages of discovery, and deadly political intrigue. Amidst it all, a young woman takes the throne of England, a nation fractured by religious divisions and external threats. Queen Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen, would rise against all odds to become one of the most iconic rulers in history. Born on September 7, 1533, Elizabeth was the daughter of the infamous King Henry VIII and his second wife, Anne Boleyn. Her early life was marked by instability. Her mother, accused of treason and adultery, was executed when Elizabeth was just 2 years old. Declared illegitimate and removed from the line of succession, her future seemed uncertain. Yet even as a child, Elizabeth displayed remarkable intelligence and resilience, traits that would define her reign. By the time Elizabeth ascended the throne in 1558, England was in chaos. Her half-sister, Queen Mary I, known as Bloody Mary, had left the country divided by religious turmoil after a reign filled with persecution. The country's treasury was drained, and England was isolated on the world stage. Elizabeth, just 25 years old, inherited not a crown of gold, but a realm on the verge of breaking apart. But Elizabeth was no ordinary ruler. From the very start, she made it clear that hers was a reign of intellect and cunning. She surrounded herself with brilliant advisors like Sir William Cecil, while also mastering the delicate art of balancing the factions in her court. One of her first acts was to establish the Elizabethan religious settlement, a compromise designed to unify Protestants and Catholics under a single Church of England. This act showed her political savvy, choosing middle ground over extremism. Then came the question of marriage. From Francis, Duke of Anjou, to King Philip II of Spain, suitors lined up from across Europe, all hoping to take her hand. But Elizabeth's answer was always the same: no. "I have already joined myself in marriage to a husband, namely the Kingdom of England," she declared. Her refusal to marry became a symbol of her independence and solidified her moniker as the Virgin Queen. It also kept foreign powers from gaining influence through marriage alliances. Under Elizabeth's rule, England flourished. The Elizabethan age became a golden era of English history, marked by cultural and artistic achievements. William Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe brought the English language to dazzling heights through their plays and poetry. Explorers like Sir Francis Drake circumnavigated the globe. Sir Walter Raleigh laid the foundation for English colonization in the Americas. England was no longer a passive player on the global stage. It was a rising force in trade, art, and exploration. But Elizabeth's reign was not without conflict. The Catholic monarchs of Europe viewed her Protestant rule as a direct threat. None was more determined to unseat her than King Philip II of Spain, whose mighty Spanish Armada loomed as an existential threat. In 1588, the Armada set sail with the intent to invade England and overthrow its queen. Elizabeth, undeterred, rallied her troops with a speech that would become legendary. Clad in armor, she declared, "I know I have the body of a weak, feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king, and of a king of England too." The English navy, aided by unfavorable weather for the Spanish fleet, triumphed against overwhelming odds. The defeat of the Spanish Armada was not merely a military victory. It was a symbolic moment that cemented Elizabeth's rule and England's place as a dominant maritime power. Elizabeth ruled for 45 years, a reign defined by both glory and challenges. She faced rebellions, assassination plots, and the perpetual threat of foreign invasion, yet she never wavered. She walked a fine line between compassion and ruthlessness, famously ordering the execution of her cousin Mary, Queen of Scots, to quell a Catholic threat to her throne. By the time Elizabeth I passed away in 1603 at the age of 69, she had transformed England. She left behind a stable kingdom, a burgeoning empire, and a legacy as Gloriana, the beloved and enigmatic leader who had defied expectations. She was not just a queen, but a symbol of resilience and inspiration, her reign a turning point in English history. To this day, Queen Elizabeth I remains a towering figure, her story one of ambition, intellect, and an unyielding spirit. She didn't just rule an era, she defined it.